Hello Cancer, this is your August 2016 reading. Already shuffled and cut the deck, laid out the cards. Here's the, I'm doing the magic triangle that I found in the guidebook in my South deck. So the first three cards are this situation, okay, these three. And then this is 4 and 5, how the situation evolves. And then the final and 6th card is the outcome. So, first off, you got the 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. And then crowning your reading, you have the 10 of Cups. Okay, so 10 of Cups, and then, so this is the current situation, 10 of Cups, 4 of Swords, and then the Emperor. So, what that's showing me, and with the 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, 10 of Cups, that's emotional abundance, feeling good, happy, glad, feeling good in your body, mind, body, spirit, all flowing, connected, not compartmentalized. So you're in your heart space. You have emotional fulfillment with the 10 of Cups. So not only all your basic needs met, but and you've worked hard, the 10 of Pentacles with the 10 of Cups, so you've worked hard to get to this place of emotional fulfillment above and beyond just having your basic everyday needs met, okay? And the working hard, because you have 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, and then you have this 4 of Swords, which means rest, reflection, little bit of solitude, just to rejuvenate. And Libra got this card too at, I believe, the bottom of the deck. So some respite, time to just unwind and you know, yeah, restorative, regenerative rest. But because you have those two tens, the 4 of Swords and the Emperor, you know, the Emperor is the King of Kings, and he didn't get to his position by letting people walk all over him, and he also didn't get to his position by being a control freak. Even though this can represent like a tyrant type of behavior, but you know, sometimes we in order to maintain control and domain over our domain, our life, our you know, his empire, you got to be a little tyrannical. You know, you got to put your foot down. You got to you know, have a little flavor of that aspect of tyranny. It's a dominant position. The Emperor is the King of Kings, and he's worked hard to get to the 10 of Cups. He's worked hard to get to the 10 of Pentacles, to have financial gain, emotional gain, to be fulfilled in all aspects of life. And that's how he gets to be the Emperor, the King of Kings, because he strives to achieve that. He puts a high value on fulfillment. Because it's the best of the best. It's the best of all worlds, right? You have all your needs met, and you have spirit, you have love. So, you know, you're in communion with God, you're in communion with the people, you're in communion with self. And it takes a lot of hard work, you know. All rest and no play makes Jack a dull boy, right? So this 4 of Swords, yeah, you work hard to achieve all this fulfillment, but you have to remember to have that restorative, rejuvenative rest, basically. So, and because we have the Hangman in how the situation evolves, it kind of goes with the Four of Swords, where, but this is major arcana. Let's see, you have Emperor, Empress, Hangman. So you're working with spirit a lot right now, Cancer. And the Hangman and the Four of Swords kind of go together. It's like, and it's kind of Hermit too. Those three cards are sort of, but with the Hangman, it's more of self-sacrifice. It can mean suspended animation. So you kind of, you know, sometimes the thing that you have to do is not doing anything and just surrendering. That's the only thing you can do in some cases, is just release control, surrender. And the Hangman, you know, he's upside down, so he's life hacking, he's multitasking. While he's hung up in a tree, hey, might as well gain perspective, right? So he's trying to look at things from a different perspective while he's in this state of, you know, suspended motion and or suspended action. And what they depict here in the picture is these winged creatures, like a bird, just having faith to, you know, leap from the nest when the time is right, and kind of free fall and trust in the winds that their wings will catch the wind and guide them to ultimately where they need to be, to start off in a new direction, having gained this perspective. It doesn't necessarily need to be a new direction, but it's a new perspective. It's gaining clarity, and having a more broad spectrum view of your life and just how life works, natural and spiritual law in general, and then how your life in the micro and then life in the macro, how that interacts and interplays. And then you have the Page of Swords. So in some decks this can represent like the Watchman, the Spy, which, you know, the Page of Swords, you know, the swords represent thought. So, and this could be a person because it's a court card, so it could be a young air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. And the page is a kind of a younger, more naive energy, or idealistic, if you will, but the page is like a messenger of some knowledge, so they can use this knowledge for their own gain and play both sides against each other, make the whole empire fall if they choose to do so. So there's a very there can be maybe a temptation to use some kind of information in your own personal gain, for your own benefit, not necessarily your betterment, but just in a more light-hearted depiction of the, whenever I see the Knave or the Page of Swords, I just think of someone who has come back into thinking from a more idealistic, childlike perspective. You know, the Page of Swords is the inner child thinking. for you. And not necessarily the inner child that needs to be healed. It could be a healed inner child, and so it can be a good place to be, this idealistic way of thinking. But there's a fine line between that and being naive. So with the Hangman, you'll gain that clarity as to whether this idealistic thinking is serving your highest good, or is it bordering on trying to escape some kind of responsibility, perhaps, because you have the Emperor, and then the Empress is the final outcome. So you, Cancer, you could be working hard to bring love into your life, because we have the Emperor in the current situation with all the hard work, achieving that fulfillment of the heart and fulfillment of the pocketbook, and you work so hard as the Emperor, maintaining all the kings and all the different the regions, and maintaining your empire. So there's a lot of rest, reflection, coming back into a more idealistic way of thinking, being more lighthearted. So you really want this Ten of Cups because it's crowning, So, and in the Ten of Cups, it depicts a couple here, and this is like their school of fish. This is they're complete, the happy couple, the family, the legacy of it all. And so you either have that, or you really, really want that, and you're working hard towards that, mentally, emotionally, physically, so manifesting in the material plane, but also doing the heart work and the inner child work, and the thinking, the gaining perspective, and releasing and surrendering with the Hangman. So you really have your sights set high, which is excellent, and you're working hard to either maintain or achieve this. And so I think it all looks good and balanced, and you have your priorities in line. So what you want out of life and your goals and the things that you've achieved are in line with who you are, and ultimately who you want to be. So everything looks good and in alignment, and just remember, you're working hard. Remember to take that time to rest and rejuvenate and just relax, because it's going to help you stay in a good state of, the Page of Swords and the Hangman, of being idealistic and being more lighthearted, and seeing things from everyone else's perspective too. Just taking it into account, not that you have to let it affect your priorities and your goals, but and you're a Cancer, so you do care about how everyone else is viewing the situation or viewing you. Most Cancers are very, loving, good-hearted people who, very family-oriented. So they we say, oh, you shouldn't care what other people think, but Cancers really do care, because they really want people to see them as a loving, caring person, and they really try hard to show that that's the beautiful gift that they have to offer the world through their nature. So you got the Emperor and Empress here, so that just proves that your number one top priority, Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, Emperor, Empress, your top priority is maintaining domain over your empire. So, just remember, stay in your heart space, okay? Ten of Cups is always more important than the Ten of Pentacles. You need to pay the bills, but the heart is what brings everything to you. So, you can have the financial gain. That's not going to lead to the fulfillment of the heart. But if you put fulfillment of the heart first, then the financial gain and everything else, and accolades from other people, respect, and then that comes after that. So Ten of Cups is crowning, so it's the most important thing for you is to have that fulfillment of the heart, and for others to view you as that type of person that puts that first. Cancers can be very loving, caring, and nurturing. I sometimes refer to them as the super glue of the family. So I know my nephew, he's a Cancer, and my moon's in Cancer, and my nephew's always there whenever someone needs to move, and a ride to someone. I mean, and he works hard too, and he's got a child, and his own, him and his woman and their child, and he has to maintain a job and home and family, and but he's always there for his friends and his extended family. I know he's helped me out a lot and always been there for me. And my neighbor's also a Cancer, and he's a great guy, and he's a nurse. And so there, I think that's where my loving, nurturing essence comes from, is my Cancer moon. A little bit of my Sag rising, but anyway, not about me, but I love my Cancers. What can I say? They're lovers, and so this is good. This is very reflective of typical Cancer, in my opinion. So things look like they're in alignment. You have your priorities set high and in line, and so it looks good. Alright, Cancer, there's nothing much more to say. This is an excellent reading. It's beautiful. And so have a happy August, and blessings to all my Cancerians. Blessings.